and I'll be raring to go, man. A couple Miller Lights deep, wanting to run out on the field.
Nice. Awesome. For sure. Look who we have, Derek. Speak it into existence, man. The one and all, the honorary captain this Sunday. That is a big. You got to be nervous, Chris. This is a big deal, man, to be the honorary captain. It's Chris Long. What's happening, Chris?
There we go. Let me turn myself the right way. It is a big deal, man. Hold on. Let me get this back. There we go. It's a big deal.
Lid, too.
It's a big deal, guys. It's it's cool. I get to bring my family. We're all about to hop on a flight here in Virginia. And, this is why you put in the work. And, this is a great part about being a champion. We all were lucky enough to be a part of that team. And then we get to come back and do fun stuff like this. So, and bring my kids down on the field. And, I don't care if it's raining. I hope it's sloppy and disgusting. And it's football. I'm excited.
Well, hey, do you get back to Philadelphia often for games since you retired?
So because of the way the pandemic was, honestly, I don't think I've taken advantage of it enough.
Okay.
I came back for last year's tailgate. That's why I'm coming up this year for our Legends tailgate. If anybody wants to check it out, chrislongfoundation.org/events. But, I'm going to be coming up a lot more. I want to get to multiple games a year now because I really do feel at home. It's cool. I say this a lot, but I played in St. Louis a long time and the team moved. So, there's no going back to St. Louis to see a football game. And I don't go to LA to see the Rams, and I don't really go to New England. So for me, it's really important. It's nice to have a home.
Mm.
Thinking about, you coming into this game, man, and here you got Doug, your ex coach, and then you got your Eagles squad, man. How is it going to come in, man? Where does your allegiance lie? You're gonna be pulled back and forth when you get out there, bro.
Listen, I do a pretty good job of pulling for players, man. I do pull for the Eagles more than other teams, obviously, because they're my favorite team. But because I'm a national media member, quote unquote, I do have to kind of try to keep my allegiance to a team out of it, and it can be hard sometimes, especially as a betting man.
Right.
Because I get I'll never bet against the Eagles because, I don't want to sit there pulling for my team and having a conflict. But I think it'll be easy, man. I want the Eagles to win. I want Doug to have a nice game. I want the Jaguars to look like the competent bunch that they've become. I mean, you can see his fingerprint on that team immediately. The speed with which they play offensively, the tempo, the motion, getting people open. Christian Kirk, we all kind of laughed at that contract, right? Because it reset the market, but he's been, Trevor Lawrence's best friend through a couple weeks, and they got him out of the backfield. They're getting something out of Evan Ingram. They're blocking up front well together, and, it's sign of Doug, I think, and the defense is playing great too. So it's going to be a tough battle. And when you look at the rest of the Eagles' schedule, I can't find a clear game where they're going to be dogs,
Mm-hmm.
So this is a different challenge for them. Our challenge, our Super Bowl year was, hey, we're under the radar. We have to prove ourselves. We have to take this next step to convince people that we're real. Pretty early for people to make us the NFC favorite. So they're going to have that target on their back every week.
Chris, you look at it, it wasn't, from an Eagles standpoint, it wasn't all that long ago when, Carson was still here, Doug was still here. They had, Deshaun and Alshon, and they were, it was a 4-win team. 2 years later, they're 3-0, the only undefeated team. They appear to have a really stacked roster. It's hard to flip it over that quickly. I mean, we're seeing Doug and Jacksonville doing a nice job down there too, but are you surprised the Eagles will be able to get it back together that quick?
Yeah, I didn't see this coming to this degree, man. They were really competent in spurts last year. They obviously made the playoffs, but the Bucs game kind of showed how far away they were. And the NFC simultaneously is kind of down. You look at some of those heavy hitters, they're going through things offensively, like Tom, the middle of that offense, the outside, the thin line between him having a lot of weapons and not having very many at all because of the injuries and the age of some of the people they acquired, and not having, Gronk, and then Devontae Adams, who'd been with Aaron for a long time, heading to Vegas. The Rams, Matt Stafford. I'm getting a call. Let me ignore that. Matt Stafford's health situation. So no matter what division you go to, the top dog has question marks, but the Eagles seem to be rounding into form. And I think it starts with Jalen Hurts being consistently on target, man. This has been fun to watch. Last year was kind of a rookie year for him, right? And people lose sight of how little he had to work with as a rookie and the situation he was dumped into. I always want to just see more consistency from him. So, we all know that he's capable of this stuff, but, do it week in and week out. And I think he's got a great opportunity to go out there and prove it against a young, hungry defense that's been better than people think. And when you have an offensive line like that, that's been the one constant from that Super Bowl team. I mean, they've lost some players, but they've replaced them well, and Stout's a great coach. So I think that's the thing you hang your hat on. And then the defensive line reminds me of our group, but maybe even better.
All right, so Chris, because you played for Doug, give me some inside intel on Doug in terms of what he's telling his young team all week long leading up to this big matchup.
My audio's out. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, man. You guys might have to write something down on a piece of paper. Hold on a second. Let me. Can I log back in real?
Yes. Yeah. Right. Chris, if you can hear us, yes. Yes. Okay. Modern technology. It's unbelievable.
Man.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're limited with him. He's obviously hopping a flight. So when he comes back, Derek, you and then Barrett, if you want to hit him with one more, and then we probably got to wrap him. But we'll definitely get one more in there. As soon as he pops up, I'll let you guys know.
Dude, we've had internet issues all week, man. It's been crazy.
And you guys know me. Like when my internet goes down, you know how I am. I lose my mind. Okay, all right. Chris is back.
We're back. I had to, I'm old, so I had to take a break. It's a lot like when I was on the Eagles, situational pass rusher.
Your dial-up works perfectly, Chris. It's great.
Hey, what I was going to ask you was, since you played for Doug, I need some inside intel. What has he been telling his young team all week long leading up to this big game against the only undefeated team left in the league? Because Jacksonville has been one of the teams that's now being talked about across the league.
Well, I think don't fear him. Doug's not a fear person. Doug doesn't coach scared, and his players don't play scared. And we never played scared. We loved playing people that people were afraid of. We love those opportunities, and if you're Doug, you're saying, guys, we just went to LA and kicked the dog, what, out of a team that a lot of people had in the Super Bowl. Now, I know they were down Bosa, and I know Herbert's hurt, but, I don't think there's a throw that Herbert can't make, even with messed up ribs. I mean, you saw the throw to Guyton last week, the throw he made in Kansas City. So it's not like that win was anything to write off because of the Chargers situation. So I think Doug's saying, man, you will love this opportunity. We're going to play in a great football city. People are going to be yelling at you, screaming at you. There's going to be boos. Probably not for Doug. I think people are going to give Doug a big warm welcome, and they should, man. I love that dude. And I think he's going to have those guys ready to play. And I think this is going to be a really tough test for the Birds, man. But, again, sloppy game, rain, taking care of the football, that sort of thing, all these little things are going to be what you're going to be harping on.
Last question for me. I always thought it was an advantage as an offensive lineman, for those sloppy, rainy games, because I didn't think you guys could get off the ball as fast. As we pass rush to get off the ball as fast. So I used to love that, But I also think that because they're a smaller defensive line, they're doing a lot of slanting and stunts and stuff like that. So I think they're going to run zone plays as opposed to, running, power plays. What do you think, about that?
Well, as a D lineman, my thing was always I wasn't the best. I was a speed rusher when I was young. I could bend the edge, but my game always came off of power, especially, early in my career and then late in my career. Even though you're a little lighter, you're not getting any faster. So you gotta learn to use your power. And I think if you can lean into BG's game is built for the rain.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
like BG's game, because it's a lot of stopping and starting. It's a lot of pushing and pulling. And, as you try to get your feet in the ground, you know how this is. I mean, and it's wet out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to rush like a Hassan Reddick might try to rush, burning the edge, speed. But I think in the rain for a guy like myself or like a BG for sure, this is going to be just fine.
All right, Chris, last one from me. I know you got to hop a flight. We appreciate you squeezing us in, man. Thank you very much.
Of course, yeah. I got my guy D-Con, man.
I appreciate it, brother.
Gunner's the Godfather. You know that.
I still feel bad because I told him one time after a game, I was like, D-Con, I can't do it. I'm in a bad mood.
He remembered that.
Right,
Yeah. He remembered. He remembered. And the funny thing was, I'm like, what did I do to him? And then, but I will give him credit for one thing. I will give him credit for this. A few days later in the locker room, he pulled me and said, D-Gun, I just want to apologize, bro. It was just that I had a bad game. And I said, you know what? Dude, I have a lot of respect because a lot of players would just move on, wouldn't even think about it. But this dude went out of his way in a locker room full of media and players and said that. And I'll never forget that, bro.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Oh, did we lose Chris? He's still there?
Wait, did he freeze again? Oh, man, I got 2 quick questions I need to ask him.
Oh, no.
No.
I think Xander may try and get him back. I don't know if he's literally like about to board the flight with the family or not. So we'll try and get him back up. If Chris, you can hear us, if you want to dial back in,
man.
You froze up a little bit on us, man. That was funny, man. I'll tell you this. That's what I was going to hit him with a podcast question. Oh, he's back. We think we got you back, Chris.
Yep.
All right. So last one, man. I know you're jammed a little bit, but your podcast is awesome. And I tell everybody that all the time, green light. Yep. You do 2 features, right? One, Gunner loves refrigerator talk. Of course he does. And the other one is you do I don't know what it's called, forgive me, like Alive or Dead, which is freaking hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. Like it takes some balls to do that segment too, because you literally like you're guessing sometimes, so and so dead. Nah, he's still alive. So
well, listen, I think it's good news when you're wrong, right? Like you're like, oh, that's a pleasant surprise. I didn't know that Dick Van Dyke was alive. Like who would have thought? So, and I think Dick Van Dyke would understand the humor in it because he's like, man,
man.
Yeah. But I do feel bad sometimes when somebody I damn well should know is alive. I'm just not real good at keeping track of people.
So, Chris, next time the Queen's dead. In case you haven't heard.
Thank you. All right, good.
Yeah. I got you, man.
All right, I got 2 quick ones for you. First of all, where did you come up with this refrigerator talk? Dude, that is hilarious.
Man, because I don't have a ring light. So like I need, sometimes you try to do something at home and I hate, first off, I hate doing selfie videos. I feel like most of the time when I see people doing them, they're kind of cringy. Yeah. And I cringe at myself and I hate the sound of my voice. You guys know how that is. That's you work in the media.
Yeah, man.
So the fridge just feels good, man, at midnight after a primetime game. The fridge is it's my spot, and I don't have a ring light, so
that's awesome.
All right, and secondly, will you break out the old fur coat from storage from 2017?
Ooh.
Nah, man, that's a me move.
Oh, come on, man.
Like that's a look at me, look what that was for one day and one day only. That was for the big party, and I want to show as much respect as I can as I roll back up. So I'll have my nice Eagles jacket that people always dig on the pod. We got him, me and BG got him in London with the Great Britain patch. Yeah. Shout out to the Queen, who is dead. And I'll be raring to go, man. A couple Miller Lights deep, wanting to run out on the field.
Nice. Awesome. Chris, have a great flight, man.
Thank you,
we're really
I appreciate y'all, man.
We're really excited for you this Sunday, man.
I'm excited. I'll see y'all in Philly.
All right, take care.
Take care, bro.
Right.
You got it, Chris Long. That's a dude, right? His shirt said the dude. He is the dude.
Right.
He's a great guy.
You got to have that. I mean, when you're like that, you can literally go anywhere in the world, bro, and be accepted, man.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world. Because once you start thinking you're more than what you are, that's when, everything goes downhill. He'll never be that way, man. That's why he's a great dude, man. I told you, the first time I met all of them together, it was the 2 brothers.
Yeah.
It was Chris and his
Kyle,
brother. Chris and Kyle. Kyle was playing for the Oregon Ducks.
Yes.
And Howie is there.
Right.
So before the game.
The ultimate badass, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're in a hotel. We're in a 5-star hotel.
Right.
It's the night before the game. And when Kyle comes down, Chris starts giving him the business. So they start wrestling, and their dad joins in. And they're in the middle of this 5-star hotel, furniture moving. They're breaking stuff. They're in the middle of this hotel wrestling.
One dude's a Hall of Famer. The other guy's a first-round pick. And these guys are wrestling in the middle of a hotel.
In the middle of a hotel. It was crazy, man.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So, can you imagine sitting down at a family dinner with that family, man?
Right.
Dude, that would be worth the price of admission.
I'm with you. He does a segment too on his podcast with Bo Allen, former Eagle.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I'll just tell you to watch it. And it's not safe for work sometimes.
I'm glad you said that, Rob, because when Bo Allen was here, very quiet, very reserved.
Yeah.
But since he's been on his podcast, you got to have the bleep button ready every 5 seconds. I'm like, this is not the Bo Allen I covered.
No. He's come out of his shell a little bit. Yeah.
The Kelsey brothers are the same way.
Yeah. It's good. It's fun. It's very fun. Like, they don't take themselves seriously.
Right.
They're just, and they do talk a lot of football. It's not that,
they do.
You know, it's a lot of, it's good stuff. Anyway, so we appreciate Chris. And again, if you're down there at the game, he'll make it memorable, right? Would we agree on that?
Bro, I'm reading the bro, they are going crazy, man.
Who?
The stream, man.
Oh, the stream.
They love Chris, man.
They're killing you on the Queen, man.
I know. I had to work it in. All I was trying to do was help him. I'm trying to help Chris for the next time.
But Rob, you had to bring up the Queen
I know.
again?
I am weirdly obsessed, aren't I? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's my fault.
Dude, my wife thinks that's hilarious, man. With your
everybody thinks it's hilarious.
Well, my wife will come home from work and be like, "What are you talking about the Queen again? Like, what's going on?" Because she'll see tweets, she'll see people reacting to it. Yeah, she's like, "What is it with you?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's always on. I get annoyed."
Oh my goodness!
And she knows, like, the second it comes on, she has to turn it off, or else I'll start yelling.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
You're gonna have a bunch of British people sitting in your front yard one day, bro. I'm just telling you right now.
I know.
Listen, a bunch of Mini Coopers just go pull up on you, bro.
Man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Cheerio. All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
Day 47. Rob Ellis bunkered down.
Still obsessed with the Queen. So we'll come back and we will dive into the big matchups of Week 4. We didn't even get into that. We had Chris on, but there's some great matchups here, Week 4, and give our upset game. We will give our upset game as well. Later in the show, we'll give our Eagles predictions with the point spreads. We'll do that a little bit later, but we'll dive in. Yes, Christian, have an altar to the Queen in the crawl space. That is correct. Yes, I do. Right here, baby. You see it. So anyway, we'll do all that stuff. Don't go anywhere. Man, I've held off on the Phillies too for an hour and a half.
I know you have. I'm proud of you. I can't wait till we get to the Phillies.
At least Milwaukee's cooperating with us.
They helped.
Yeah, they're cooperating.
Boy, they blew that game. Wow.
Yes, that's it. All right, we'll do all that when we get back. Don't go anywhere. Derek, Barrett, Rob, we are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let's talk about Flynn Tree Services. Flynn Tree Services is an experienced, licensed, and insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. And they offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problems that you may have. So if you have any type of issues, they're just a quick phone call away. They service Southeastern PA, South Jersey, Northern Delaware, and they trim all types of trees, anything you need. All right. They specialize in tree removal, stump grinding, as well as tree pruning. Flynn Tree Services will be there for you with an evaluation. Keep in mind, we're in hurricane season, right? Now's a great time to get everything checked out in your yard or on your property to make sure you don't have any trees that are ready to come down. You go to their Facebook or Instagram page for more information or a sampling of their work. Flynn Tree Services is a very simple phone call away. 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or online at flynntreeservices.com, flynntreeservices.com.